Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something I think a lot of us grapple with. That feeling, that maybe you're living life based on someone else's script. We are diving into Rugiatu Bah's 2022 guide, Finding Your True Self. Unlock your true potential. Well, actually, an insightful analysis of it.
Right.
We've gone through this academic take on her book to pull out the core ideas on, how to tune out all that noise from outside and really connect with who you genuinely are.
Yeah, and if you've ever felt a bit off track, like the life you're living isn't quite yours, or maybe you're just curious about understanding yourself better.
This is definitely for you. We're looking for a structured approach, some real actionable advice.
Absolutely. And what's really striking right from the start in this analysis is how Bah apparently pinpoints this core problem. So many of us make choices based on what we think others want.
Or expect, yeah.
Exactly. And that inevitably can lead to this sort of dissatisfaction, maybe even a feeling of emptiness, even if everything looks fine on the surface.
Right, like you're checking all the boxes, but the feeling isn't there.
Precisely. It's about seeing those pressures, whether they're subtle or, really obvious, that can kind of push us away from our authentic path.
Okay, let's unpack that feeling of emptiness a bit. The analysis suggests it's not just feeling vaguely unhappy, is it? It comes from that mismatch.
The misalignment, yeah.
Between who we really are inside and the life we're actually performing, maybe.
Performing is a good word for it sometimes. When we're constantly trying to fit into molds or meet external benchmarks, we might be, squashing our own real values and needs, and that leaves a gap, a void.
It really does. It's like trying to force a puzzle piece where it doesn't belong. It just creates friction. It feels wrong.
And Bah's work, at least as it's presented in this essay, really stresses that first step. Just becoming aware of those forces.
Seeing them clearly.
Yes. And then making a conscious choice about how you want to respond instead of just reacting automatically, reclaiming that control.
Okay, so awareness is step one. You see the pressures. But then, how do you figure out what you actually want underneath all that?
That's the journey, right? The analysis highlights Bah's idea of self-discovery as this structured process, not just random navel-gazing.
Right.
It's more like peeling back layers. It involves actively looking for your genuine interests and strengths, the things that light you up, regardless of whether they're trendy or what your family thinks you should be doing.
So rediscovering what makes you tick, basically, what you'd gravitate towards naturally.
Exactly, even if no one was watching or, keeping score.
And a big part of that, it sounds like from the essay, is introspection. Really taking a hard look inside.
Examining your thoughts, your beliefs, even your automatic behaviors, asking those tough questions like, why do I actually believe this? Or where did this reaction come from?
That takes courage, doesn't it? To really question yourself like that.
It does. The essay suggests it's about becoming almost like an observer of your own mind. And importantly, this isn't just a hunt for your strengths, the stuff you're already good at.
Oh.
No, it's also about facing your weaknesses, but not seeing them as permanent failures.
Okay, how then?
More as, opportunities, areas where you can grow. It gives you a much more complete and frankly honest picture of yourself.
Which feels like it connects directly to this idea of embracing your uniqueness.
Yeah.
The analysis really seems to hit that point hard.
It does. Recognizing and actually valuing what makes you different. It's so easy, isn't it, to fall into that comparison trap?
Oh, constantly. Especially now with social media, everyone's curated highlight reel.
Right. And the analysis points out how damaging those comparisons are. They just kill self-acceptance.
Yeah.
So Bah's work, as interpreted here, really pushes us to focus on our own specific way of interacting with the world, appreciating your unique perspective, your specific traits. That's where real solid confidence comes from, not from trying to be a copy of someone else.
Okay, so let's say you've done some of this inner work. You're starting to get a clearer sense of yourself, your uniqueness. But the essay is clear. Just knowing isn't enough, right?
Not at all. That's just the foundation. The real shift happens when you translate that self-knowledge into action, doing something about it.
Right.
So the analysis talks about Bah offering practical ways to sort of spark your creativity, tap into that natural ingenuity we all have.
And then use that creativity to take actual steps, tangible actions that move you towards your own personal goals, the ones aligned with you.
And I like the point about small, manageable steps. That feels crucial.
Totally. It stops it from feeling like this huge, impossible mountain to climb. The essay really underscores that this self-growth thing, it's not a one-and-done event, it's ongoing.
A process.
It's a continuous journey of learning, adjusting, evolving.
And a big piece of that ongoing journey the analysis mentions is radical honesty with yourself.
Yes, that sounds intense, but it just means, owning your choices, even the mistakes, understanding why you maybe went off track.
And learning from it, not beating yourself up.
Exactly. Seeing setbacks not as dead ends, but as, well, data. Information to help you adjust your course. That's real progress. Okay, let's talk about something I think everyone experiences. That nagging voice of self-doubt, the inner critic. Does the analysis say, Bah, tackles that?
Oh, absolutely. It seems to be a key part. According to the essay, she provides actual techniques to help you first recognize those negative thoughts when they pop up.
Because sometimes they're just background noise.
They can be. So recognize them and then actively challenge them. Question those limiting beliefs you might hold about yourself.
And then try to reframe them, put a different spin on it.
Precisely. Consciously choose a more positive or at least more realistic and empowering perspective.
And the goal here is building a different kind of confidence.
Yeah, one that's not dependent on likes or promotions or what other people think. It's about building confidence from the inside out.
Based on knowing and accepting yourself, flaws and all.
Exactly. An authentic self-confidence. And the essay suggests that is what gives you the resilience to stay true to yourself, even when the external world is pushing you in other directions.
Which it always will be, to some extent.
Pretty much. So that commitment to authenticity, as the analysis frames it, it's not like you achieve it and you're done.
It needs constant attention.
It's a continuous practice, constantly checking in. Are my actions aligned with my core values? With what I truly desire? Especially as life throws new things at you.
So, listening to this analysis, Bah's book itself sounds, well, quite user-friendly.
That's definitely the impression the essay gives. It specifically mentions her writing style as being warm, clear, approachable.
Making these big ideas feel less intimidating.
Right. It sounds like she explains complex psychological stuff in, everyday language. No dense jargon. More like a helpful conversation.
Not a lecture.
Not at all, which makes it feel accessible to lots of different people wherever they are in their journey.
And it sounds like the structure helps too, offering both the why, the theory behind self-discovery, and the practical how-to tools.
That combination seems key based on the analysis. It's not just abstract concepts. It gives you a potential roadmap. Here's why this matters, and here are some things you can actually do.
Okay, so if we boil down the main takeaways from this analysis of Bah's Finding Your True Self, the core message really seems to be that finding a more authentic, empowered life isn't about chasing external approval.
No, it's much more internal. It's about that intentional self-exploration.
Really digging deep.
And then actively trying to live in a way that reflects that self-knowledge.
With ongoing honesty about how it's going.
Exactly. Structured exploration, practical action, and continuous self-honesty.
And for you listening, the big takeaway here really seems to be that understanding and embracing who you are, well, it isn't just some nice-to-have fluffy idea.
No, the analysis positions it as fundamental, a really practical, essential step if you want a life that feels genuinely fulfilling and meaningful to you.
So here's something to maybe chew on after this. Can you think of just one area in your life right now where you feel those external expectations weighing on you quite heavily?
Just one specific area.
Yeah. And then ask yourself, what's one small thing, one tiny intentional step you could take this week just for you to explore what you actually want in that situation? Forget the shoulds for a moment. What feels true to you?